Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series. May the 2nd, 1987 is our program this week, and certainly as we move towards another stadium show, that's a big deal. I should have up through maybe September up by the end of today, depending on how my schedule goes with work and other things. So a lot of first run content here. Eric Emery versus Steve Simpson is your opening contest. Emery, of course, who takes over for the booking part of things, is your big deal here. He takes over within a couple of years. Simpson, who eventually, over the next few weeks, brings his brother in, arm drags and the like early, and he goes very much in a positive direction here. Simpson, again, a guy who I think they could have built the whole promotion around if they needed to. Arm drags and really basic stuff, stays on the arm for the majority of the contest, and it is clear that he is still super over with the fans. Shots in the corner by Emery, takes him out with a snapmare and a shot between the eyes. It is also clear that Emery is a guy who they're trying to push. He gets involved with the stadium show upcoming, and then we see a dropkick under the chin by Simpson. Simpson gets cut off, and members of the RPMs cause issues to this situation. Simpson does manage to, before they become involved in the contest, go to the top rope, hit the crossbody one, and a disqualification victory for Simpson, the way things go. Obviously, next up, we've got the discussion of the scaffold match. The Fantastics and the RPMs talk about the scaffold match. The basic idea behind a scaffold match: somebody has to fall from a really high place, and that is the way you lose. Not exactly something most people would sign up for. And Fantastics talk about the danger thereof, putting the belts on the line and such. I think it's talked about that there's a 40-foot fall. Somebody's going to fall in the middle of the ring. The RPMs promised that somebody could die in the ring for that. Gary Hart discusses the Parade of Champions, talks about the Mercenary taking out Bruiser Brody, talks about Nord the Barbarian taking out the champion in Kevin Von Erich in the Parade of Champions environment. Gary Hart still has not produced for himself the world champion that he thinks he should have. Of course, the World Class Association has developed its own world championship after seceding from the NWA. Then we go to a pre-taped match with Nord the Barbarian versus Barry Collier. This is as to be expected, of course. Nord with the benefit of Gary Hart at ringside with him. Collier, over 300 pounds, enhancement talent. Don't know much about him. They say he's from British Columbia, Canada. Nord, though, overpowers and oversizes the bigger man, back elbow, and some really basic stuff. Nord, more than anything, looks like he is a guy who can take things into his own hands. Also a guy who looks like he's ready to do just about anything to get a victory. He manages to kind of do the huss-huss, run across the ring thing. Big leg drop in his pursuit of a victory, 1, 2, 3, and he gets that victory. Next up, the Rock and Roll RPMs versus Steve Dahl, Skip Young. Young back in the area, your consummate babyface. Interesting this week that they do a lot of short matches, so maybe they're going in a direction of trying to get more guys on the map. I think I've mentioned before, Young, a former tag team champion here with Iceman King Parsons, who appears to have officially fully left the territory. Still have trouble telling Davis and Lane apart, but they cut off the ring on Skip Young. They go to town on him quite a bit. Young manages to hit a inverted atomic drop, but rolls into the wrong corner for a bit. tag off to the partner, and the top rope heart attack on doll 1, 2, 3 for the win for the RPMs. Next, we go into another enhancement match. This time, Mike Reed versus Cousin Luke. Cousin Luke, of course, coming off WWF TV less than a year before. Luke with a big splash and some power moves early. Obviously, this is meant to be an enhancement for him. Don't know really where he was going full-time or full-term. Maybe this is just a stopover for him. Don't really know. Not a guy that I would say has a ton of direct or easy to spot talent. He goes to the top rope, hits the top rope splash to get himself the victory, and then we move into Bruiser Brody addressing Jeep Swanson. Brody basically implies that there is absolutely nothing that's going to take him out of action. Brody is doing some shadow boxing on the way. He says Swanson's name several times, says he's going to knock him unconscious, says he's going to take out the mercenary, etc. and so forth. Jeep Swanson and the Warlock versus Spike Huber and Red River Jack is your main event for this week. They have about, I don't know, 6.5 minutes maybe. And the Warlock and Huber go at it. Huber, of course, having more technical prowess. He spends the early part of the match in the ring with the Warlock. Swanson on the outside looking for opportunities to get in. Swanson, of course, the bit of the brawler with the army fatigues, military fatigues. Swanson doesn't need to get in right away as Huber throws himself over the top rope with a crossbody missing. He takes the grappler takes control once he's back in the ring, body slams and things and the like. And once again, we see a shot on the outside with the forearm by the mercenary. The program pretty well closes with Red River Jack and the mercenary, or Jeep Swanson, whatever name you want to give him, because he has gone by both, with a bit of a brawl. Red River Jack sends him over the top rope to close the program, and that is where we end for today. We'll be back with more right after this.